Hi everyone, and welcome to the video number 8 on AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner series. So in these videos, we study the AWS Cloud Practitioner exam question and answer. And these videos will help you not only to prepare and pass the CLF-C02 exam, it will also help you understand the key cloud concepts and terminology. I have designed the videos and the questions and answers such that you can get the idea pretty easily using the diagrams and the definitions. So I'm confident that this will be helpful to you not in passing the exam but also understanding the key concept. So without further ado, let's get started. So the question number one is that which task is the customer's responsibility according to the AWS shared responsibility model? And the options are option A, implement physical and environmental control. Option B, configure firewalls and networks. Option C, maintain the security of the AWS cloud. And option D, patch the operating system of Amazon RDS instances. And the correct option is configure the firewall and the network. So the configuration of firewall and network, it is basically the responsibility of the customer, while the rest is the AWS or the cloud provide responsibility. So this is a diagram I'm just sharing, and this will also give a clear view of the customer and the cloud provider, in this case AWS, responsibilities. So the cloud computing is basically a shared responsibility model. There are some responsibilities that our customer to take care of, and some responsibilities are the cloud provider's responsibility. So in this diagram, this is basically infrastructure as a service cloud model, share responsibility model. So here we can see that the protection of the customer's data, the identity and access management, such as the creation and the provision and the management of users. And as we studied in the question, the configuration of network and firewall, these all are the responsibility of the customer. And beside these, the data encryption on the server side as well as on the client side, this is also the responsibility of the client or the customer. While the AWS or the cloud provider is basically responsible for provision of the uh, infrastructure services such as compute, storage, database, and network, as well as the global infrastructure in the form of regions, availability zones, edge location, and data centers, etc. So the question number two is that which AWS service helps deliver highly available applications with fast failover or multi-region and multi-availability zones architectures? And the options are option A, AWS Shield, option B, AWS WAF, Web Application Firewall, option C, AWS Global Accelerator, and option D, AWS Direct Connect. And the correct option is AWS Global Accelerator. So it is basically the service that provides high availability for application and fast failover, comprising on the multiple region and multiple availability zone architecture of AWS. And so this is basically a networking service that helps you improve the availability, performance, and security of your public applications using AWS Global Network. And this is just a visual representation of this AWS Global Accelerator. So here is the end user or the customer, and the customer basically hits the AWS Global Accelerator, and it connects here up to maximum 10 AWS regions within the global AWS network. Here we can see that it is connected to multiple regions such as AWS region 1, 2, and 3. So this provides a highly high availability model where if there is some issue or disaster at one availability zone or at one AWS region, the traffic is routed toward the second, and so on and so forth. And again, as we already have studied that within the AWS region, there are then multiple availability zones. Let's suppose availability zone 1, availability zone 2, and availability zone 3. So within AWS region, if there is some issue with one availability zone, then traffic is routed to the next nearest availability zone. And then again, further inside availability zone, we have multiple data centers. So there is a multi-tier or multi-level redundancy and high availability inside the AWS Cloud Global Infrastructure. Question number 3 is that a company has multiple e-commerce applications. The application need to be able to send messages to each other. Which AWS service meets this requirement? And we have the option A, Amazon Simple Queue Service, that is Amazon SQS, B, AWS Auto Scaling, C, Elastic Load Balancing, and D, Amazon Kinesis Data Streams. And the correct answer is the Amazon Simple Queue Service or Amazon SQS. It basically enables the message queuing service or the sending of message to multiple consumers or applications. So this is basically the SQS. Amazon SQS lets you send, store, and receive messages between software components at any volume without losing messages or requiring other services to be available. And this is a visual representation of this service. So this is the message producer or the message sender. And here we have the Amazon SQS service, which is a fully managed message queuing service to reliably and continually exchange any volume of messages from anywhere. These messages are, of course, encrypted when they are on the network through HTTPS and TLS. And these are the consumer, in this case, let's suppose application of these messages. And these can be, as we can see that, any number of, there can be any number of consumers without losing the messages or without compromising the availability or performance of the message sending service. That all is done through the Amazon SQS. Question number 4 is that what is the best resource for a user to find compliance related? Keyword is the compliance related information and reports about AWS, and the options are option A, AWS support, option B, AWS artifact, option C, AWS marketplace, and option D, Amazon inspector. And the correct option is AWS artifact. So AWS artifact, it basically, it is a self-service audit artifact, that is you self-service audit artifact retrieval portal that provides customers with on-demand access to AWS compliance documentation and AWS agreements. And this is a visual of this AWS artifact, that what it is. It is basically gives access to the compliance related information that matters to you on demand. And using this AWS artifact, you can download reports, access AWS preview, and third-party compliance reports. And it can also be used for accepting the agreements. You can review, accept, and manage agreements for specific regulations. So that is AWS artifact. Question number 5 is that which AWS service enables companies to deploy an application close to the end user? Close to the end users. The options are option A, AWS auto scaling, option B, Amazon CloudFront, option C, Amazon Route 53, and option D, AWS AppSync. And the correct option is Amazon CloudFront. So Amazon CloudFront is a content delivery network, CDN, service built for high performance, speed, and low latency access of your applications. And how it looks. So this is, let's suppose, the end user traffic, and these cloud front, Amazon cloud front, are located at the nearest AWS edge location. And what it contains, it basically contains cache and servers, static and dynamic content. So the purpose is that these servers stores the frequently accessed content through caches, and the user, each time the user accesses these services, it does not need to go all the way to the AWS cloud. Rather, it fetches the services or the data from the nearest cloud front location, and thus this gives us speed and performance. So that is basically the concept of Amazon cloud front. Question number 6 is that which AWS service or feature improves network performance by sending traffic through the AWS worldwide network infrastructure? And the options are Amazon VPC, option B, Amazon Global Accelerator, option C, AWS Transit Gateway, and option D, Route Table. And the correct option is AWS Global Accelerator. So the AWS Global Accelerator is a networking service that helps you improve the availability, performance, and security of your public applications using AWS Global Network. So it is basically a networking service, and as we can see here that it helps you connect with the multiple up to 10 AWS regions. So user is connected to multiple regions, and if there is some issue or disaster at one region, then the user does not feel any performance or downtime impact or minimum downtime, and is routed to the next available region. And then again inside the region we have then multiple availability zones as already discussed. Question number 7 is that which AWS service provides highly durable object storage? And the options are Amazon FSx, option B, Amazon S3, option C, Amazon Elastic Block Storage, or Amazon EBS, and option D is Amazon Elastic File System, or Amazon EFS. And the correct option is Amazon S3. So what is Amazon S3? Amazon S3 or Amazon Simple Storage Service. S3 basically stands for Simple Storage Service, is a service offered by Amazon Web Services that provides object storage through a web service interface. So S3 is basically the object storage, and it is highly durable. Question number 8 is that which responsibility belongs to AWS when a company hosts its database on AWS on Amazon EC2 instances? So when a customer hosts its database inside AWS EC2 instances, what is the customer's responsibility? And no, what is the AWS responsibility basically? And the options are option A, operating system installation, option B, database backups, option C, database software patches, and option D, operating system patches. And the correct option is operating systems installation. So initially the customer gets the EC2 instances which have pre-installed operating systems, but after that the patching, security, as well as the backup and updates of database, it is the customer responsibility. While the initial installation of the operating system inside the EC2 instances is the AWS responsibility, because these EC2 instances basically comes with pre-installed operating system. So only the installation of operating system is the cloud provider responsibility, while the rest is the customer responsibility. Question number 9 is, which of the following are the advantages of moving to the AWS cloud? It's a very basic question, and we have to choose two options, and the options are: option A, the ability to use the pay as you go model; option B, the ability to turn over the responsibility for all security to the AWS; option C, the ability to have full control over the physical infrastructure; option C, no longer having to guess what capacity will be required; and option D, no longer worrying about user access control. And the correct options are yes, the ability to use the pay as you go. Basically, the cloud, this is the on demand cloud model. So, this is the advantage, and the user no longer have to guess what capacity will be required because it is scalable and elastic model. The capacity increases as the user requirement increases automatically. While rest the access control, it is basically the user responsibility. He has to worry about, he has to do it. The physical infrastructure, control of physical infrastructure, it is with the AWS. It is not the inside the control of or in control of the customer. It is basically AWS is in control of physical infrastructure, and that's it about it. Let's get to the next question. Question number 10 is that which AWS service is a hybrid cloud storage service that provides on-premises user access to virtually unlimited cloud storage? The options are A, Amazon S3 Glacier; B, AWS Storage Gateway; C, AWS DataSync; and D, Amazon Elastic Block Store, Amazon EBS. And the correct option is Amazon Storage Gateway. It is basically the hybrid cloud storage service that provides on-premises user access to virtually unlimited cloud storage. And this is the definition. Basically, it is a service that connects an on-premise software appliance with cloud storage to provide seamless and secure integration between your on-premise IT environment and the AWS storage infrastructure in the AWS cloud. And this is a visual representation. So here we have the on-premise IT environment of the customer or of the user. And if the customer wants to use the cloud storage, but use the existing applications, so what he can do, he can use this AWS storage gateway, and this storage gateway can be deployed in the form of VMware, ESXi, Hyper-V, KVM, Amazon EC2, or it can also be in the form of hardware appliance. And again, it uses HTTPS for security over the networks. And here inside the AWS, we have the storage gateway managed service. So basically, this storage gateway, it gives unlimited storage access inside the cloud. This is the cloud storage in the form of we can see these buckets to these on-premise applications. And that is for today. I hope you have learned something from today's video. So please like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you and bye.